Hey, welcome to today's video. My name is Kelvin G. I'm the Vice President of the Tesla Owners of Silicon Valley, and we are here in Redwood City, California with Shareef Kahn from SS Customs. Shareef, thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thanks for the warm welcome, man. I appreciate it.
Of course, of course. So Shareef and I and the club, we've been partnering for the last 3+ years. When we first started the club, and SS Customs was kind enough to be the club's first sponsor. And we've been doing some pretty cool stuff the last 3 years with the Beers, Tacos, and Teslas event, our third annual event we just finished earlier this year, and we're going to start talking about the fourth annual. And so we'll get into that a little bit, but before we get into all that, I first want to just talk about you and your origin story, if you will. You're kind enough to share this story at our first Tesla's Beers and Tacos event, and I really wanted to capture that story in terms of how you got started in SS Customs in wrapping cars.
So we established SS Customs in 2005 as a derivative of Sam's Signs. So it was first Sam's Signs Customs. And then when we moved to the peninsula in 2011, we abbreviated to SS Customs because it was, kind of like a spin-off, and I kind of went off on my own.
Okay.
But I still wanted to pay respects to where I learned the industry and trade rather than rebranding altogether. Okay. So, and that was a good day seeing my dad come here and it's like, wow, this is something different. We're the oldest wrap shop, custom wrap shop on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So that, and then getting into other services in the late 2000s, which was paint protection film, paint restoration, ceramic coatings, things like that.
Yeah.
But just one thing led to the next. Now wheels and tires and aero, and we do all kinds of stuff now. But that growth has to start from somewhere. So it's been a good run, and it's taught me a lot of life lessons. So I guess that's the best teacher is what you're going to get in terms of self-applied. Yeah. In terms of my dad, that was these hardened Asian parents are like, they don't show emotions, right? So my dad was the same way, work hard, this, that, and the other. But that day when I saw like him crack, and I could see the emotional side of him, and that made it that much more memorable, because it was like, okay, I worked so hard to leave another country to come to a whole new country for the benefit of me chasing something for myself and for my children, and then to see it actually come into fruition that way for him, I'm sure that's something of what he was feeling inside, like, oh, all these sacrifices I made is paying off. And so that kind of transcended that in that moment, and it felt good. Yeah. It really did, man. So now I have to make sure I continue to work hard to make sure I keep that going for my dad, you know what I mean, and my mom and everybody else who has a lot of high hopes for us,
That's good, that's good. So I'll focus on the services that you offer. So obviously, Tesla owner of Silicon Valley, we're Mecca here in the Bay Area for Teslas. You see a lot of Teslas, right? And I imagine color wraps is pretty popular as a service you guys offer. Yeah.
So since for that particular service, since we're one of the oldest providers on the West Coast, we have a huge clientele list that wants to get that work done. Yeah. So for color change, we're more busy than the average shop in doing color change services, just because we've been doing it for so long. So about half of our shop is dedicated to color change. Wow. The other half has grown now to almost to the point of like superseding the vinyl wrap side is clear paint protection film. And that seems to be the new wave of tech, because it's a thicker film, it's a stronger film, it lasts longer, has a longer warranty term, and for the first time in the past year or so, they've been offering colors. Yeah, so there's a handful of them. It's not as custom. There's thousands of colors in that vinyl world, but there's only a handful of good reputable companies that make maybe several dozen colors for the PPF world. Yeah. So it's early on, but I feel like that could be the next evolutionary period of
I agree. Change. I 100% agree, because you get the best of both worlds. You get a color change and actual paint protection all in one, right?
Yes.
It's like peanut butter and chocolate coming together. What's better than that, right?
It ends up being a pretty good. It's like we've always talked about this. What's going to be the next thing? What's the next involvement? Like how are we going to be ahead of the Joneses in this industry? But it seems like that's what it is. And in terms of services, yes. So you have vinyl wrap, you have clear paint protection film, which is now comes in colors. You have And in that segment, we're one of the small segments of companies that do hand-tailored installations. Sorry about that. Hand-tailored installations primarily. And then you also have, what's the other one? This is paint restoration and ceramic coating.
Okay.
In the late 2000s, I went to school for that through a McGuire's / another detail shop course. I'm learning how to do paint corrections, ceramic coatings, and just the whole industry learning there.
Yeah.
So that was late 2000s. And then from there, we got into wheels, aero, carbon fiber aero, bolt-on performance.
Window tinting too,
Window
right?
tinting, another film-based application.
Yeah.
And a handful of powder coating.
Powder coating,
And a handful of other things that we got into with the industry. It's somebody asks for something, and you're like, okay, I'll try it. And so I have a problem saying no. So things work out.
Well, people like to get everything done in one shop, right? Instead of taking it somewhere else and shepherding your car around, it's like everything under one roof. It's just more convenient for the customer.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the one-stop shop thing is the true thing, but you have to have competent people.
Yeah.
Like every service we do, I've always went to school for it to make sure I was educated.
Yeah.
Even paint restoration. I don't want to pick up a machine that's spinning at, has a crazy RPM and put it on the paint if I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. So the proper courses and classes had to be there. And then now that we have well over a decade of knowledge in each one of the areas that we offer service on, we're able to make sure we give a customer good value.
So let's talk about my car. So
what'd you end up getting?
Yeah. So I recently acquired a Tesla Model S Plaid in ultra red, and of course I want to drive it straight from the delivery center straight here, but unfortunately I had a couple of events I had to take it to before I dropped it off. But
your delivery center wasn't so close either.
It was in Marina del Rey, so I had to drive it from SoCal all the way up here. But I think I managed without getting up here without too many rock chips, which I was really fearful of. But it's an ultra red, so it's a nice rich red, and I really want to protect it, and so brought it to you. So let's talk about what you did to the car. So what other clients can expect if you bring your Tesla to SS Custom. So first thing you did, I assume, was wash it, right? Full detail, yes?
Yeah.
And then what's after that? A clay bar?
Yep. So because we have multiple different trades, they kind of there are crossing points. So since we do paint restoration and ceramic coatings, we use similar processes there that we do on our paint protection film side. Yeah. Same thing with vinyl. So we were installing vinyl wraps at a very high caliber very early on because of our combination of different services. So in your car, we did a full hand wash. Then we did a decontamination with clay bar treatment. Okay. Then we generally follow that up with some type of alcohol water treatment to strip any polymers or anything like that. And then we'll start doing installation panel by panel, hand-tailored on yours. So you have a better option package, which is each panel has bulk install, and then we wrap around all the corners and edges, trim, and then reassemble the car. And with clear, we only need to do some basic parts removal, emblems, some tail lights, window trim, etc. And we're able to give you a high quality installation. And then after that, there's about 3 rounds of quality control. And then the 4th one happens when you bring it back in about a week.
Got it.
Where we just go over the corners, edges, make sure everything's holding up properly, so that way you get a good overall quality. You have a good representation of us on the road. Yeah. And you have good pride of ownership. Yeah. But that's what that's particularly your particular project there. Okay. And we also have some tail light tints, I believe.
Yeah, we're doing some window tinting. Yeah.
And window tinting. Yeah, we're doing some ceramic window tinting on there. Yeah. And then you also did you tried to take a stab at something, didn't you?
I tried to DIY the tinting of my headlights, and I have to say, I told Shareef this, it's harder than it looks. So I think I got one side right, the other side was, but...
and they're super flat too, so it's like just a slight curve.
Yeah, rub it in. So,
but it gives you probably, like you had mentioned, it gives you a little bit of maybe perspective on what we do.
Yeah, more appreciation for the trade that you're in, for sure, right? And then there's a lot of people who are skilled and try to DIY it at home, and good for you if you can, but the pros. Let them do it if you can, because I have to say I went downstairs before this shoot and took a look at Ultron, the name of my Model S, and I have to say I can't tell that there's PPF on it.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
I mean, we strive to get to close to perfection. We know that's a hard word to achieve, but if we get to about 90 percentile for us, which might be even that's for us. For you, it could be something different. Then to you might not even notice on the car. But we try to hold ourselves to a high standard. We're humans. There's always going to be things that because we're doing this all by hand, there's going to be little issues or mistakes, which is why we have so many QAs, because we know we're doing a hand-tailored service.
Exactly.
And then, come back in a week and we'll figure it out. But for right now, I'm glad you like the overall quality of it.
Yeah, no, thanks, Shareef. And talk about the differences between pre-cut film versus hand-cut, tailor. It's kind of the difference between like a handmade suit and something you buy off the rack, right?
Yeah. So in the detail world, we have something where to correct a paint, you have three general things. You have your chemical, your pad, and your machine. And between how you make the combination, you can assess almost any type of paint.
Yeah.
In the PPF world, you have something similar, right? You have your material, your brand that you're going to be using, and then you have multiple factors. There's the solution that you're going to be using to install, the type of technician they're doing, pre-cut versus hand-tailored. Mm-hmm. So in our world, we use the #1 film on the market, XPEL.
Yes.
So we're XPEL providers.
Okay.
There are really good competitors out there that try to make good comparable films, but XPEL is one of the ones that's stood the test of time for the longest time. Yeah. So they make great products, which is what we're using on your car, using XPEL Fusion.
Yeah. Tell me more about that. Why XPEL Ceramic Fusion? What's special about this film in particular?
So XPEL Ceramic Fusion, so you can make ceramic, the Fusion film, or you can buy a pre-made ceramic Fusion film, same properties. But essentially what it is the Fusion is either bonded into the PPF, or you have XPEL ceramic coatings Fusion applied on top. Yeah. And ultimately what you get is a hydrophobic PPF.
Yeah.
So the hydrophobic PPF is going to make it easy to clean. Things that are acidic, like tree sap, bird droppings, or other acidic elements that might land on the car from industrial fallout, or other things like that, are going to be easy to clean up. Yeah. So you see bird droppings, they shatter rather than just kind of like sit there, or things like that. Kind of like a ceramic cooking pan, makes it easy to clean. Yeah. So in your case, you got the best of everything there rolled into it. So I think you'll be happy with it, especially washing it. Your first wash, you'll be giddy like a little kid.
Just the sheets of water just rolls off of it, right?
Yeah. So we're like, oh look, water doesn't stink. They throw a water bottle at the car. Just don't do that.
And this may be for the viewers out there. How do you maintain a PPF? Like, how do you keep it?
That's good. Recommended is washing once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So twice a month you're gonna have a wash cycle. Yeah. You can come in once a year if you want us to just do a QA on everything, just see everything's holding up. Yeah. But just hand wash twice a month, and you're pretty much there. If you have infused coating or some type of ceramic coating, you could do a flash coat once a year.
Oh yeah.
So XPEL makes a product called Care, and that works really well. To go ahead and apply that on top of the film, so you'll be pretty solid there.
Is that something that owners can do DIY by themselves?
Yeah, the Care product is,
yes. Is it? Okay.
Yeah, they have other products too that I can do for you. Okay. But if you want an annual service, then you bring it in, we do a hand wash, we do clay bar contamination, and then we do a flash coating, and then you're solid.
Okay. Tell me what you think is the most exciting trend in your industry. Is it color PPF or is it something else? And what are you most looking forward to?
I think right now probably the newest stuff is color PPF, so it's like the new toy, right, we have. Yeah. So that we're waiting for new colors, new iterations. Yeah. The depth is awesome of the film. Obviously a little trickier to install because it's like 3 times as thick as regular vinyl. Okay. But the end result in terms of quality, fit, finish. What we've been always yearning for in this industry is a film that looks like paint. Like you cannot tell. Yeah. And there are certain vinyls that do that, like a Nosatech and a few others that are just super gloss. Yeah. But they're a little tricky to install. Yeah. The problem is longevity. Okay. So the color PPF, like you mentioned, kind of gives us the best of everything. Yeah. So I think that's cool. Yeah. There's also some new tech where people are infusing like a little bit, like almost like a lighting technology in the film. So that's cool. You've seen BMW do it and a few others where they change the films. So they're playing around with different, where you can embed into the film, as well as different layers below the film. So those are cool things that we're looking into.
The
electronic
ink, right?
There you go.
Yeah, like the Amazon readers.
Yep. It goes from black to white. This is the technology they use for the R plates, right? Those little digital plates, license plates.
License plates, yeah.
And the electronic ink is cool because even if the power is cut, it still stays in its state. But there's a lot of other ways to do it. So I'm excited to see what the future holds with customization like that, because there's going to be that fusion of technology, actual digital technology. So that'll be cool.
So speaking of the future and technology, there's a particular model that Tesla's coming out with pretty soon that you're pretty excited about, the Cybertruck. You've been planning for this release for a long time, seems like, right?
Yeah, I think I told you and John when it first came out, I ordered it within the first few hours. It was like that ugly duckling reaction, like what the heck is this? Because I was so amped on just the headlight. They announced the headlight in the semi-trucks, and I saw the headlight. I'm like, oh, it's a cyberpunk. And then when it came out, I had my initial reaction was mixed feelings, but then it clicked, like, okay, I get it. And I ordered within the first few hours, and then nothing. So I was hoping to fulfill the order by now. But still as excited. We've been working for quite some time on a bunch of design SKUs of some of the most memorable. I can't give you too much. All I can tell you is we got some really cool stuff planned for the Cybertruck. You saw a sneak peek of some stuff.
I did.
And all the Cybertruck owners around the world will be able to partake in what we do for this particular program. And it might spill off into Model 3, Model Y owners as well. And if you get enough demand from the X's and the S's, we'll move the platforms there. But we're going to launch it with the Cybertruck. So from your perspective, I need to know when that's going to happen, because I know you got the insider.
Well, we're still waiting for the invite for the launch, but for all you potential Cybertruck owners, if you want to differentiate your silver Cybertruck and make it your own, just remember SS Customs. They got something planned. They got something, some aces up your sleeves, right?
Once you start seeing deliveries land, you'll see us announce the projects we've been working on. But it's just really cool. There's just so much I want to talk about this program, but I can't. So you guys are just going to have to wait and just keep tabs on us. At SS Customs, you'll see everything coming out.
So we'll have to come back when the Cybertruck launches, and maybe we get the first Cybertruck that wrapped and do some content with you.
Of course. If you get one of the first Cybertrucks and you want to be part of this program, let us know. We have tons of customers in our clientele list. We have our own multiple Cybertrucks on potential orders. But if you get one before us, give us a shout, and we'll use you for our program in terms of honorary person.
Speaking of programs, you were fortunate to be part of the first Tesla Veterans program, where you actually custom wrapped. It was a Model X, I believe, right? And it turned out really amazing. I remember John and I first saw it, was like amazing, blown away. The program stalled, contact there left, I think you told me, but now you're actually working on another veterans program. Tell me more about that.
As I said, we've been working with Tesla since 2012. We really started, or just private clients, and then years back, maybe it's I don't even know now, but we started with doing Tesla Veterans Program. They have a veterans program where they hire veterans, and so they want to do all the motifs of the military. So we got hired to do the first one, which was on display on Tesla factory for a very long time. It was a Model S, and we did that one in like a traditional urban camo, Cumulus style for a Model S. And we tricked it out. We put roof racks, military surplus parts, and racks, and all kinds of stuff. Converted the fuel tanks to water tanks on the top. But it was fun. And then the second one we did was fighter jet theme, which was a Model X. Then we've done the Navy theme. We've done Marines, which is again on a Model S, the digital camo. So we've done multiple iterations. And this year, we've been requested to do another one. So be on the lookout for another one coming down.
Can't wait. Well, Shareef, it's been a pleasure to hang out with you, see the amazing work that you guys have been doing here, especially with Teslas. I got to talk to your installer, and she gave me some tips about how to wrap an S and some challenges there. But you guys have been doing an amazing job for since you guys have been around. So I just want to say thank you for what you do for the Tesla community, and for the continued partnership with Tesla owners of Silicon Valley. And again, if you have a Tesla and you want to get tricked out and customized, bring it down to SS Customs here in Redwood City.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah,
Truly appreciate you.
Yeah, of course.
And check us out online, SS Customs. And make sure for this video, go ahead and like, subscribe to our friends here, and comment what your favorite part was.